if I had 90 days to get unstuck in my life without using motivation, discipline, routine, or trying to change my whole life overnight, this is what I would do. I would start, first things first, by telling the truth to myself. Most people try to change their life without getting honest about the life that they're actually living right now. So that's what I would start. It's not about having a magic fix. It's not about fully transforming your life in 90 days. It's about just getting honest to start seeing your life transform in 90 days. There's no finish line. It's a journey. And it's just learning how to fall in love with the journey as well, because it's not always going to be easy, but it is so worth it. So just to give an overview, back in 2020, I hit a point in my life where, well, let's go back before that. So I grew up in survival mode. Everyone around me lives in survival mode, and I truly thought that that was the only way to live. I wasn't modeled like a healthy, like, love or self-confidence or emotional safety, regulation growing up. So I just thought that that was just normal. Thought that was just the way of life. And, you know, as you grow up, as I grew up, life happened. And so I fell into depression, anxiety, mood swings, and I was just angry all the time. I would snap at people, and I just felt this heaviness all the time. And I just truly thought that that was the way I was. Like, that's just who I was. And so I lived my whole life this way up until 2020, when I really did hit a breaking point in my life, when I was like, this is not working anymore. I can't live like this anymore. Something has to change. And I didn't know if it was possible. I didn't know if there was another way to live, honestly. But I had to figure it out. So I did the only thing that I could think of at the time, and I sat down and I wrote my very first list. This list contained everything in my life at the time that was causing me to feel unhappy, depressed, miserable, anxious, angry, why I was feeling moody, everything. There was nothing off limits. I truly just sat down and got brutally honest with myself. And it wasn't about shaming myself or guilting myself or making myself feel bad. I just needed to get clarity. And I didn't know what else to do to get that. So I sat down and I wrote the list, and it is wild when you sit down and you see things on paper, how it can truly give you space, like clarity on this, like, situations. When I first looked at that list, it made sense to me. I truly understood why I felt those things my whole life. It made sense. For the first time in my life, I understood why I was feeling those things. And I didn't feel like I couldn't change those things. Like, I didn't feel like I was broken. And I spent majority of my life feeling that way. So it was wild how much just that one thing, how much clarity it gave me and awareness that I was able to have. And then I started working that list one thing at a time and changing the things that I didn't like that was causing me to feel unhappy, depressed, miserable, anxious, angry. And it's truly just been a process. There's things on that list that are still on that list. Like my relationship with my mom, while I have worked on it a little bit, it's not where I would like it to be. We don't live close to each other, so it's not something that I can actively work on all the time when I'm not with her. So it's still there, and I work on other things that I can work on in the meantime. And throughout this journey, I've realized that everything on that list fits into 4 pillars. And I call those pillars, they cover every area of life. So it's core, clarity, connection, and creation. So if we go to core is the foundation. It's everything internal. So the stories that you tell yourself, your limiting beliefs, your perspective, the way that you see the world and everything around you. It's the voice that's in your head, that inner critic. It's everything internal, and then it's that's operating, you know? It's getting clear on those things and working through those. That's something that needs to be worked through. And for me, it definitely was. So yeah, it's that's the foundation. And then if you go into clarity is getting clear on what you want for your life. What are your hobbies, your dreams, your passions? Where do you want to live? Like, do you want to get married and have kids? And, you know, what kind of car do you want to drive? Like, it's really getting clear on all of those things. And because, you know, if you're anything like me, I never really took time to get clear on what I wanted for life. I didn't know that as silly as it sounds, like, I didn't know that I had options until I started this journey. So it's getting clear. And so having that vision. And then connection is first and foremost connection with yourself. And then connection to everything else. Like, are you religious? Or are you spiritual? Connection with your family, your friends, boundaries that you may need to have, or boundaries that you don't have. Like, do you already have them? Like, it's your environment, connection to your environment. It's everything that has to do with connection. And then going into creation, which is the best part. I'm just kidding. It's all great. Creation is building, growing, evolving, expanding, actively taking those 1 inch forward steps daily to create and build the life that you want. Because I believe that we all have the ability to be the creator of our lives. And so that's where it all comes back to, like habits and action and actively taking those steps, those 1 inch forward steps every day. And it's like those core, clarity, connection, and creation is just like a flywheel circle, and they all play a part into each other, right? And so it's giving yourself grace along the way and understanding that we're all just humans too. And we're going to have roadblocks. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have things that come up on the journey. And it's not beating ourselves up or thinking that we're going backwards, which brings me into, I think of this journey as a spiral. So it's like you're learning, growing, and evolving, and you're just going up, down, and around, right? But sometimes when you're like going, it could feel like you're going backwards, but you're not truly going backwards. It's shifting that view and that perspective to see that it's just a journey. You're growing. You're not coming back to the same thing with the same perspective or the same version of yourself. So it's just giving yourself that grace along the way. So in a quick glance, if 90 days to get unstuck, to start transforming your life, I would start by first getting honest with yourself. Again, not to blame or shame or guilt or anything like that, just to get honest, because we can't do anything if we're not honest and we don't really know where we're at currently. And then making that list, sitting down and putting it on paper, making the list of what's causing you to be unhappy, miserable, depressed, anxious, whatever, feeling stuck, whatever the case may be for you, getting honest about it, writing it on the list, and then taking those 1 inch forward daily steps to work on those things one at a time. And then if just knowing that, like, for me, this is a way of life. It's a journey, and it's a way of life for me now. And I continuously keep taking these steps. And this is just an overview video. The next video that is going to pop up on here, go ahead and check it out. It's going to jump into core a little bit deeper.